Good evening, everyone. It's been a long time coming, but we are finally back with some more league racing. And I have a special guest with me. We have MNT Rocker, who is here with us. How are you doing, mate?
Fine.
Doing good, that's what we like to hear. We obviously had our own race a couple hours ago, which did not go well, if I'm honest. Both lost it in the same area of the track, so let's hope that these drivers don't do the same thing. But they're, with all due respect to yourself, a lot better at this game than us, so we should see some better driving. We've got a lot of the familiar faces from last season, I would say. We've got Max and Yari, of course, here. Harry, Collie and Joe. Frisky Biscuits making his return this season. People who have kept up with SRL from the very beginning will know who Frisky is. He's a fast driver, so good to have him back. We have Frabai. We have, well, it's quite interesting actually that we've got you. Because your brother is racing this tier as well.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that does. We've got Levan, Ava, Bradbury, Rock, the Goat, Mawiri, Dark. And I think that's the full grid at the moment. I don't know why I can actually hear myself echoing. Yeah, it might be. You can still hear it.
Is that any better?
No, I can still hear it. It might be my end, hang on. Maybe. Might be my end. In fact, no, that's it. That's it fixed now.
Alright.
Fantastic, cheers mate. And we get underway here. Let's get this Discord up as well. That's what we're looking for. Just like that. So here we are for qualifying. It looks like it's going to be a dry session, which is always good for the drivers participating. Of course, we don't know if it's going to stay dry unless someone from the grid tells us about it. So we'll see what happens. It's not a hard track, this one. I think it's probably the easiest one to drive on, but probably quite hard to master. Would you go with that? Would you go with that, mate? The curbs obviously are very deadly on this game. I think a lot of people are having problems with that.
Yeah.
So I think that's a major factor for the race as well. We've got actually a few people jumping on mediums for the start of qualifying. We've got Yari, Ava, we've got Joe, and of course LT Rocket on mediums. Is that, do you think, just getting a couple of laps in beforehand just to get a better feel for the track, or do you think these are actually trying to qualify on the mediums?
I don't know. What's strategy? Going for mediums.
I think it'll probably be the idea of just getting a few laps under your belt. I think if you were going to try and qualify mediums, you would probably do that later on in the session.
Yeah.
But we've got a lot of fast drivers here. We can crucially, I don't see our championship winner from last season, so I don't know whether he is late or whatnot, or if he's not participating. But that gives a great opportunity to the rest of the grid to get a good start and set yourself up for the rest of the season, I suppose.
Yeah.
I don't know why I can't remember his name, which is horrendous. Let's see who's going to cross the line first. I think it's going to be Yari. In fact, no, I think Harry Colley's... No, it's Harry Colley who's actually on our lap. So yeah, it's Yari who starts his lap for the first time. Gets his SRL pre-season underway. We're already getting some yellow flags in, but I think that's just because of slow cars and stuff. Nice wee first couple of corners using mode as much of the track as he possibly can to get the best exit speed. These cabs here, you've got to be so careful on this game, because if you throw the car in a optimistic fashion, shall we say, you're just going to spin the car, aren't you? Yep. Pretty much. But Yari's doing an alright job so far. It's been a decent start. Of course, on the mediums, you won't be expecting to set blistering lap times here. But we shall see. This inside curve here, this is the one that frightens me the most for the drivers, because you kind of sort of get suckered into it. You want to stay away from it, but you get suckered into it. As there's a spin, I think, is there? El Trucker is out of the qualifying session.
Not even settle up.
Well, that's just poor, isn't it? That's just very poor. What happened? Did he just lose it on the curb, did he, or?
Yeah, I didn't see. I saw the yellow through.
Very,
Lost it.
It's a very interesting place to lose it, though, to be fair to him, in that sector too. As Levan goes P3, Goldman's Eyes is a 125.1. Next we'll watch Ava, who's going to come across the line on those medium sides. It's a 127.1. It's not a bad lap time actually on the mediums, to be fair to him. Another one on those mediums is Joe Royal. See what they can do. It's a 126.3. He goes quicker. It's a very good lap. And more yellow flags in sector 1. Fraby. Decent lap. I'm on board with Harry Colley, who had an interesting season last time out, to say the least. He had some good results and he had some pretty poor ones.
Not a great lap, but he's on the mediums, so...
Yeah, I think on the mediums you're not expecting to set your blistering times. It's just to get used to the track, which is not a bad strategy, I suppose.
Oh, he's round.
Who's spun? Harry Colley spins. Oh, that's really hard to lose it there. Goodness me. That is a strange one. But meanwhile, Frisky Biscuit comes around the final corner. It's a 127.2 for Frisky. Max is coming around next. I don't know if he's just going to jump in the pit. Yeah, he is. So far, Go of Anxiety's 125.1 is looking pretty hard to beat so far. Joe's going back in the pit, so it's Dark. I think Ava's doing another lap. Frisky is setting another one as well. So we'll stay on board with Frisky, I think. See if he can improve on that 127.2. Nice and steady down the hill, onto the straight. Using all of the curb, trying to keep the speed up as he comes round the dreaded right-hander, which he does quite well. And he does a purple sector too as well.
Big lap so far.
It is indeed. Joe, this is going to be a very good lap as he comes around the final corner. Oh, well, it would have been, but he's jumping straight into the pit, so I think he was not quite up as much as I thought.
No, he made a mistake in the last corner or something.
Yeah. Who's next? Dark has just done a purple sector 2 as well. He's currently in P8. I don't know if this is another one that's going to jump into the pits, but we'll see. No, he is going to set the time. It's a 1:26.2. He improves by a couple of attempts and he goes up to P6. Who else is out? Yari is at the moment. Open to set a lap time this time round. Gets a nice tidy exit. And it's a 1:25.6. He's on to the second row. As the current provisional pole sitter Goat of Anxiety comes out for another outlap. Oh, Gimo Winnie's spun it in the first sector. We were watching him, but I switched over, and now he's spun it. Max on an outlap now as well, currently in P4. I think that's the question that we asked at the start of qualifying, if anyone was going to try and qualify in the mediums, has been answered. Everyone now out on softs. Yep. Who has impressed you the most so far, apart from the Go Anxiety, because I'm not letting you have it easy.
I'm not sure.
I think SF Rock has had a good one. He's currently in P2 at the moment, about to start another lap when he gets round this final corner, just behind Joe. More yellow flags out. So we'll ride on board with the Goat of Anxiety as he looks to try and go even faster than he already has done. Takes a nice line through that corner.
Not as fast as his last lap though.
No, not quite. He'll have to make up for it in the second and third sectors. Ooh, he hit the kidside curb and he's put it in the wall. I think that was him trying to make up the time that he'd lost in the first sector, maybe. You'll be able to limp it back to the pits, no problem, but that was nasty there. And even more bad news is that SF Rock just done a purple sector 2, but he does run wide into that corner. That'll cost him some time, and he invalidates it as well, which is even worse. Meanwhile, Max strong too, coming around the final corner.
Went quicker, but he invalidated.
Yeah, it was a shame for that as well. It was a shame. He only just ran wide, I think, as well. As Max goes up to P2, he goes within less than a tenth off his teammate. It's a great qualifying so far for the Aston Martin boys.
Yeah. Not so great for Alpine though.
No. I mean, he did improve, but not enough to get him off the 12th position. Although it is very close between him and Eva. Meanwhile, Levan across the line, 1:25.7, goes a tenth quicker, but not enough to push him up a place. Who have we got next? Bradbury, I think it is. So it's,
decently fast here.
oh, and he invalidated it. It's a shame he done a purple, didn't he? Yeah, definitely. That was unlucky for him. But he'll jump in the pits for another set of softs, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Oh, and Yari's spun it.
Oh.
And he's picked up a bit of advertisement on the front of his car as well. Doesn't have any front wing damage, I don't think, though. And yeah, it'd be quite fitting that he's in a Haas, that he does a spin. Meanwhile, Dark about to set a time. Meanwhile, Ava is improving at the moment by about 4/10.
Just needs to be careful through here. Not spin.
No, he keeps it nice and clean. It's a balancing act between pushing it too much, but also maybe hanging back too much as well.
Yep.
Ava, who's improved so much since joining the league, now testing himself against the very best. Oh, that's a shame.
Shame. Kept it.
Just got a bit of too much oversteer by a lot of things. Just completely lost it. But luckily for him, he didn't put it in the barrier, so he can probably just go again straight after. Who have we got next out on the lap? I think it's just Dark at the moment.
Just saw that one there.
It's a shame. It's on his outlet, so as long as he didn't hit anything, he should be okay. But Dark going good here. Does a purple sector 2. He's currently in P9, the Ferrari driver. Can he get this final corner right? We shall see. As he comes around the final corner onto the start-finish straight, it's going to be close. To 125.8.
Still ninth.
But that's the thing, it's so close between all these drivers. I mean, from first to ninth, it's what, 7/10 in it? It's crazy. As Jimmy when he does start his next quali lap. Rides the curb nicely. Is improving by a few tenths at the moment. He's going to have to improve by a lot more though if he wants to get himself further up the grid. As many other drivers coming on their outlap. There's more yellow flags in sector 1. Don't know, it's just slow drivers though. An Alpine.
Fun.
We're still on board with G Mawini as he does a purple sector 2. We're seeing a common theme of drivers getting a good sector 2 in, but the other sector's just letting them down.
Yeah. I don't think he's gonna.
No, I don't. He's going to improve. It's a nice improvement. It's all 4/10s, but it's not enough. Such as how close the grid is. Meanwhile, Bradbury hoping to get himself off the bottom row of the grid for the race. Actually hasn't set a lap time yet. He is going to here though. Oh! That's so harsh. 125, that would have put him... That would have... Well, 125, that would have been pole. That would have been provisional pole, that. He'd be absolutely fuming. as our current provisional pole sitter, the GOAT, goes for his final quali lap. Anyone else a bit further into their lap? Or Frisky spun it, the Alpine, so that'll be the end of his qualifying.
Oh, there's someone else. Ferrari. It might just be dark.
I think it is dark. That's the end of his qualifying. Yeah, rightly so, as you say. He doesn't have time, and that is the end. And well, we'll see if he manages to keep himself in the top 10. I think he probably will.
I don't know if he just retired himself or.
I think he just. I think he might have spun because I can see him. I could see him then. I know Max would be absolutely gutted about that because I know he would have backed himself to beat his teammates' time. But here we go then. SF Rocker goes provisional pole.
11 milliseconds.
Can the GOAT snatch it back? He can. He goes into 124s.
Jules on a lap.
Ava's crossing the line next. It's a 125.3 up to P5. That's a brilliant bit of improvement from him.
Fastest sector 2 by Joe.
Joe is looking good. We're on board with Frabai as he comes round the final corner now onto the start-finish straight. It's a 125.3. It's a nice little improvement from him. Joe, meanwhile, goes provisional pole with a 124.8. Where did that lap come from? That's mad. We had some really good improvements there at the end. There we go, as I take a screenshot of the qualifying standings. Wow, what a qualifying. So after that retirement, Max dropped down to P4 in the end. SF Rock managing to split the two Aston Martins. But all the plaudits goes to Joe. Fantastic lap from them. They'll be really happy with that. They'll be really happy.
Yeah.
So it'll be.
No time though.
Was that so?
2 people without a time set.
Anyone in particular thinking of there?
El Trocker and Bradbury.
Yeah, not good for them. El Chocker, of course, retiring very early on in that session, so they'll probably be on the back foot at the start of the race, having not had that opportunity to have that 15 minutes of track time.
Yeah.
But we know, well, from last season, we know how fast he can be and what a good driver he is, so it would not surprise me if he's able to fight his way back through the field and still get a decent result. And of course, he'll have free choice of style. But it looks like it's going to be a dry race as well. There's not a cloud in the sky here at Bahrain. As we wait for the lobby to load up and we can get the formation lap underway. Let us know in the comments as well if you're watching who you are backing for the race today. I'm going to put Evan Trocker, of course, on the spot and ask him for his predictions as well, but I'll give him to the end of the formation lap to tell me. I'll give him a bit of thinking time. But I really think I think Joe is going to capitalise on getting that pole position, and they are going to win the race.
Yeah, well, SF Rock has a chance as well. He went quite fast.
Definitely.
The GOAT.
But both McLarens and both Aston Martins, of course, in that top 5. Be interesting to see how all the drivers get used to their new teammates, because I don't think, I could be wrong, I think apart from maybe Max and Go, I think everyone's I've got teammates that they've never had before, so that'll be interesting to see how the pit strategy works and all that sort of stuff. I think if we have a look at the tyre selections as well very quickly, so obviously the top 10 all on softs. Interestingly, El Choco decides just to start on the soft, so perhaps they're backing themselves to have the pace to get through really quickly and do the same strategy as the top 10. But it's Jimmy, Winnie, Frisky and Bradbury on the medium side, so I'm assuming, I think it'll be 2 stop for everyone. Obviously the 1 star of mediums will then jump onto 2 sets of softs, and the soft guys will jump on another set of softs and maybe some mediums as well. I wonder if of course the safety cars would maybe tempt some people to jump on hards as well. That'll be interesting to see. But this is the beauty of league racing, is that anything can happen, and I've seen dafter things happen. As Govan has actually been disqualified with SF Rock during the formation lap, so that's not what you like to see. Of course, means that they have not had all the lap to warm up their tyres and get them ready for the start of the race. But I don't think they picked up any penalties, so I think the show should be okay. Oh, I don't know why my camera's doing that. Here we go. We have 5 red lights, and away we go here at Bahrain.
That's a good start from the GOAT.
It is. Yari moving himself up through the field there as well. Oh, a bit of a cagey start.
The GOAT in the lead now. Dark down close. El Trocker up to 11th already.
Yeah, it was a really good start from him. But you are right, the GOAT showed huge sign of intent there to get past Joe within the first corner, and they done exactly that. Great stuff from them.
He's already pulling away from Joe.
Yep. I think everyone...
Oh, that's Alfa Romeo around there.
It's Levan.
It's into that corner. Oh, and there's Harry Cully around as well.
Damn. El Rocker meanwhile going past Gima winning potentially here in the final corner. They're going to go side by side.
Oh. There's an Alfa at the back of that.
Oh, it's close between all these guys. And the Ferrari's now coming as well, Dark.
3 wide in the end. Oh.
Oh, and he's lost it.
Bradbury's round.
Yep.
Never seen anyone spin there.
Meanwhile, Matt's going to get past 2 cars here. Not quite able to make that move stick. Just got squeezed out in the end. Ooh. Max losing the front end of the car just a little bit there. That's lost him a little bit of ground to SF Rock. But Joe under pressure here from the McLaren. As we've got another spinner. It's Gima Winnie. Bradbury, sorry. Yeah, it's not been a good start to the race for them at all.
McLaren going down the inside.
Yeah, Max has left him the room. And he goes through to hold on to P3, to take P3 I should say. And now Yari's thinking about having a go at Max. As it's a Ferrari that's spun, I think, in sector 1. Ooh, the wheel banging. It should push Max off a little bit there, maybe. And all this battling is allowing the GOAT to get further and further away, as looks like Levan has spun again.
Not great for Levan.
Nope. I don't know, has he got any front wing damage? I don't think he does. I think it was just a little spin. Meanwhile, Ava having a look at Frabai here. Might be able to get him with the help of ERS and DRS here.
Talker's got the DRS as well,
Oh, I don't know if Ava's lagging a little bit here.
Oh!
Was he lagging on your screen as well?
Yep. All over the place.
Yeah, he kind of skipped. He was quite far back, and then all of a sudden he was like right in front of him. So I think there was a lot of lag in play there, which is probably the worst thing. Yaris lost it and ended up having Rock go into him. There's nothing the McLaren could do there. That's just really unfortunate. He just can't stop at all. I think I'll be surprised if he doesn't have front wing damage, SF Rock.
I don't see any.
I think maybe the luckiest boy in the world if he hasn't got any. But that's a disaster for Yari.
He had a good start.
He did. He was. I think he was like fourth. He was fourth a couple laps ago as well.
Yeah.
Maybe just pushing it a little too hard there, Yari. A man who we know he's good at this game. We know how fast he is. He understands what it takes to win. But too many occasions, particularly last season, he would spin it and cost him a win or a top 3 finish. And it sort of halted his championship fight with Too Late Mate. More yellow flags.
Spinner, Bradbury again.
He's just not having a good time at all.
Same place again.
Yeah. He doesn't seem to be learning his lesson there. No, Elch Rocker is continuing his resurgence and tries to go around the outside of Frabai. Didn't quite have the traction to make that move stick, and Frabai holds on to it for now, and he runs wide a bit. Ironically, the running wide there might have helped his exit there, you know.
No penalty anyway, so.
That's the main thing. And it's going to be all over the back of Frabai here. Get DRS. The problem is the Williams driver might get some off Max as well.
No, he's not.
You'll get some more DRS here, but he's too far back to make a move. Stick. And he'll have to settle for P5, but it's been a very, very good start to this race for him. There's another yellow flag. It's is it Levan again, is it?
Yeah, I think.
We are, of course, very early on in this new game cycle, and I think these curbs are just, it's getting so, people still find it so hard to get used to it.
Yeah.
Particularly when you're so used to it for the last 12 months or so in another game, once Levan has now retired. He's retired on track as well. I don't know if that might bring a safety car if the car decides to park at the side of the road in an unsafe place. I think that we should be okay because it's on the straight. He really should retire in the pits as Max decides to pit first, so he's going to go for the undercut on the other drivers.
I'm dark in the pits with Frisky.
There's another yellow flag in sector 1.
El Tropper in the pits. And there's more spinning.
Yeah. Medium tyres go on. So it'll be interesting to see if the top 5 that stayed out, or say the top 7 who stayed out, particularly the ones on the soft, if they are going to lose a lot of time to that undercut and find themselves behind the likes of Max and El Chiroca. Frisky, I would imagine, in the Alpine will probably pit about maybe 13, 14, I'd say. And then do probably, well, I'd be surprised if he jumps onto hard. I would think he would do the 2-stop. Does seem to be quicker as they all do now pits. Well, apart from SF Rock, who is going to stay out another lap at least, as is Yari. Oh, he was having a look there, the Haas, but he was never going to get the move done there. It would have been very ambitious. Meanwhile, Max and Joe scrapping it out again. A little bit of wheel-to-wheel contact there. Joe holds on to the position, although Max has got DRS.
Oh, there's someone.
It's dark, and he's out.
Out. In the wall. That was a big one.
Looks like his car is still going.
It's just retired on track.
It's quite close between G. Mawini, Goat and Ava, as the Goat is going to use the ERS, and get past the Red Bull. And on those fresher medium tyres makes light work of him.
Oh, there someone went away there. For our 5.
So, SF Rock jumping on the hard tyres, so he's going to go for the 1-stop. Very interesting.
Fastest lap.
On the mediums as well, nicely done. Max all over the back of Ava here. Ava not pitted yet, and it's beginning to show.
Bice got past El Trocker there as well. Oh, Ava's round again.
Ooh, I think he just lost it on the curb there, trying to fight back against Max a bit too aggressively. And he's probably paid the price for... No, he's going to go again, yep. And his teammate now goes past him. And he's got to get into that pit lane as fast as possible because those tyres are done. So Yari is going to jump into the pits now. Frisky will take the lead of the race. Meanwhile, Frabai picking up the first corner cutting penalties of the race. And Joe closing in on Gima Winnie on the start finish straight as we enter lap number 10. And with the help of DRS, he gets past the Red Bull. Ooh.
There it is. Oh, it went wide.
Meanwhile, Bradbury's gone off the track again, yep. Ooh, Frabai had to get off the power there. He knew that if he went on the curb, he was going to spin it. These curbs are starting to claim more and more victims on its list. I don't think there's been many drivers who haven't at least had one little spin so far. Meanwhile, I was going to say the GOAT just got the fast lap, but then Joe beats it to do a 1:28.5. And now with the Williams of Frabai on those fresher medium tyres, gets past the Red Bull. Oh, he's run wide again, the Red Bull.
Bradbury's off again.
How many times do you think Bradbury's spun now? Like 10?
Getting close to that.
I think we might have run out of fingers for the amount of times he has spun. It's not been a good day for him. But this is what pre-season is for. It's finding out how much you can push it. And fair play to him for staying in the race as well, as El Trocker's got some using some ERS and maybe try and get past Gima Winnie. I think he's going to wait to get some DRS on the start finish straight. Very tactical decision from him, and he gets a much better exit, and he is going to make light work of the Red Bull. I think. Yeah, he is. He'll get him on the inside. He'll get him on the inside. He's got.
Oh.
Ooh. Meanwhile, Max is trying to get past Joe here. Joe giving him the bit of a squeeze.
Oh, he almost lost it there.
He holds on to that, but they hold on to that position. Ooh, I don't know if you were watching Max there, but I thought the rear end of the car was just about to give way. It was a brilliant save from him. As Yari picks himself up a 3-second time penalty.
Is it gonna go for the dive bomb here? No.
No, not quite. He's gonna get DRS here though. You can see Max is itching to get past him. Just can't get past Joe at the moment though. Over and a little bit wide, the Aston Martin.
It's got a slipstream down this straight. It's looking like it's not using it for the main straight.
Oh! It's not the first time in recent laps that Max has almost lost it.
Really struggling out there, I think. Oh.
Oh, Max has gone completely off the track there. And Joe will breathe a huge sign of relief for at least the next lap. Meanwhile, Gino, Winnie and Bradbury both pitting as well. Bradbury onto the softs, Gino, Winnie onto the hard, so probably a one stop for the Red Bull. It's been a good battle between Max and Joe. Very hard but fair racing. There's a spinner, and do I have to guess who it is?
Gmo.
Oh, it's Gmo.
Thought it would have been Bradbury for a minute.
Yeah. Oh, and again Max nearly losing it. As now Frisky deciding to pit, so the GOAT will retake the lead of the race. Frisky, where is he going to come out as he jumps onto the hard tyres? Yeah, he just coming down the start finish straight now. He's going to get past him, and he's probably going to get out in front of Hardy, I would say here, Frisky.
Oh well, Tropper. Penalty.
It's not what you want to see for him. Just a bit, and it's a Haas and it's Yari, I think, who's spun.
Isn't it too hard on the curbs again?
So about halfway through this race now. Still, the GOAT leads this race by about 3.3 seconds to Joe, who has Max hot on their tail. Max running out low in ERX, Joe's got a little bit more. And Max is going to go for it on the outside here. He does. They do, I mean.
He gets the move. And gets it done.
You can just hear the revs of the engine of how careful they're being as they accelerate away from a corner.
Oh, Gmo has wing damage and he's getting a wing change.
So that's going to hurt his race. Meanwhile, Joe trying to get back at Max here. So we get a nice overview shot of this battle. So Joe sizes one up on the inside, not quite. And G-Mass one again. Yeah.
Got a wing change.
Meanwhile, Yari trying to get past Frisky here. And he does get past. Back up to P7 after losing the position due to that spin, but so what are we on? Lap 17 now. Probably got another 4 or 5 laps for the top until the top 5 decide to pit again, I think, for the final sprint to the finish. And Max decides to do the undercut. Interesting. Is he gonna jump on another set of mediums here? I don't think the sauce will come to get to the end. It is gonna be mediums. Someone we haven't watched for a while is our race leader.
Fight between Harry and Ava here. Ooh. Almost contact.
Contact between who, sorry?
Almost contact between Harry and Ava.
Getting very close between them two.
Dropped off a bit though.
In the fight for the final points positions. The field pretty spread out now due to the pit stops and whatnot. Interesting that Max pitting early has not really phased all his his race rivals, they've all decided to stick to the strategy that they wanted, which is to get onto the softs at the end.
Whoa, Max almost losing it. Again.
Just got to be careful on these new mediums, they won't be, they'll be a little bit cold. Doesn't want to be pushing too hard within the first lap of putting them on.
On Frisky, and Sagan gets it.
Yeah, Frisky's struggling to fight back on those hard tyres.
They go into the pits.
And it says a pair of medium tyres. Rocker in as well. And it's soft for him. Ooh,
I'm sure they're going to get 19. No, 9 laps.
it's a bit of a gamble, isn't it? Oh, me and Mal come in and out the pits. Was a little bit perilous there. With the goat right on the back of Yari. Yari trying to break the slipstream there. Ooh, Yelfard's in sector 3, and that is Gmo out now.
Retiring himself.
I think he actually might have actually hit the wall, because it says DNF. I think that means that it's been taken out of his hands. Ooh, and a McLaren, I think. Yeah, it's Eva.
Yari and pits.
So Joe takes a provisional lead of the race.
Another person round. I think it's just, yeah, it was Gmo coming back onto the track.
Oh, and Ava has lost it again.
Need to be careful because his tires are probably quite warm after all that spinning.
Definitely. Might be quite hard to get going again.
Touching the grass there.
Say something. I watched the last race between the tier 2 and 3 guys. I think there's been way more spins in this race than there were in that one, which is interesting to see.
Probably not as many spins as tier 4 though. That was carnage.
It was.
There's Ava around again, I think. Yep. Is that wind damage? Can't see.
It might be.
I don't think so. Who's that in the pits? Joe coming out the pits.
And there's another spinner, Ava again.
Again?
Yeah.
Bradbury coming out of the pit.
So interestingly, SF Rock is leading this race. He's on hard tyres, so he's not going to pit again. Has he got enough pace to keep the goat at bay? I rather think he might not.
Ava winning again. I think it's just went right there.
Yeah. Now he's retired. Yeah, now he's retired. Again, I don't know why he hasn't just took it to the pits and retired there. That is what the rules say, but in fact he has done. I was looking at the other straight, he has done. Fair play to him. It's just his AI car's deciding to still come back out. I don't know why the game does that. Meanwhile, Yari's setting the fastest lap, 1:26.9. And the gap between the GOAT and SF Rocket is now just about a second.
Max has spun.
On his own.
I think he's went on the curbs too hard here.
That's a massive shame for him. He was on for a good result as well. That's rotten luck for Max.
Oh, VSC.
VSC has been deployed.
He'll just be on for a couple seconds and then... Well, that's... Let the GOAT catch up to SF Rock now.
Yeah. Just gives them a little bit of a breather, but as you say, does allow GOAT to catch up. Yep, and he's going to be all over him here. SF Rock trying to break the slipstream, moving over quite a few times there. He's going to try and protect the inside.
Oh no, what was... Okay. Oh, contact.
But the GOAT is through. I think there was just a little bit of light contact as Max retires in the pits as well.
Oh, in the pits.
Now, Sirocco looking to get past the Alpine of Frisky Biscuit. Nice move from him. So out of the 14 runners that we started with, only 9 remain. Farby, he's not going to try and have a move there, is he? That's brave. Ooh. Avoid contact with Frisky.
Yari's round. In the same place as Max.
That's a shame for him, but Farby does get through and he takes P5 off Frisky, although he does have a penalty.
You could pull away though, just got 5 laps.
Very true. Tell you what though, it's been a very impressive stint on those hard tyres by SF Rock, because they're not the fastest compounder tyres, but he's remained competitive and looks like he's going to be on for a podium here.
Yeah. Unless he makes a mistake. Which would be a shame.
Well, if he does make a mistake, that'll be the commentator's curse. Which would not be the first time, and will not be the last. Someone else has spun.
Oh, Yari in the wall and he's out. That's a big one.
Yep, that is a big one. It's a VSC as well. So the last VSC helped the GOAT catch up to SF Rock. I wonder if it'll be the other way around this time out.
Well, he wasn't out. He was
This time round, I mean, sorry.
8 people.
8 people left now.
Yeah.
3 seconds for Altiroka and Frabai.
I think
Altiroka's...
Results got this in the bag.
You'd think so, but if Joe can get past SF Rock pronto and have 2 laps to catch Goat on those soft tyres, it can still be done, I think. But it needs the TSC to end. Which it does now. And Fraubai's got himself a drive-through penalty.
Always went wide.
Oh, and he spun. Maybe a bit of anger there, a bit of frustration.
Cut the corner and then just hit the gravel.
But what that does mean is that if Altiroka can keep that gap to over 3 seconds to Frisky, he's guaranteed P4, which would be a brilliant achievement considering how bad his qualifying went.
Yep.
I'm sure you'll be very proud of your brother for that. I like that little sick nigger.
Well, it was a better race than mine. Not as good a quality though. Another penalty. I think he's retiring himself in pits because he's just sped.
Yeah, he'll be retiring.
And he's out.
Yeah. It's a shame for Frabai. It was, he'd done a good job up till then.
Yeah.
But this is the battle that we are all watching. It's between Joe and SF Rock, who is now, and they have now got that gap to under a second.
Doesn't.
No, I think they'll stay behind SF Rock and wait to the DRS zone which is coming up soon.
He could make it down this straight with a bit of DRS, but
Yeah, I think he would have rather waited for that DRS, but he couldn't. And
Brisky's round. Oh no, that's not Brisky. Yeah, Bradbury's out as well.
goodness me, we're down to 6 runners now.
He retired on the track or he hit the wall.
Not too sure. It was pretty sudden, so I think it might have been on the wall.
Come back on.
Ooh, bit of a switchback. Joe will bear contact as well, but Joe is going to get through. Well, SFR will come back at him potentially with the help of this DRS, but it's not long enough. Oh, but Joe's not got the best exit out there, but I think they'll still be okay to hold on. And now Joe has got about a lap and a half to get after the go, and I think the gap might be just a bit too much now. And I think it is going to be the Go of Anxiety's win here at Bahrain. Bahrain, he doesn't make a last minute error. So the Goat of Anxiety, our race leader, is going to come around the final corner to start the final lap of this race, which they have pretty much led from the start after they got that amazing start and took the lead. Ooh, someone else has spun, and it's Frisky in the Alpine. Just lost on the final corner, I think, on the curb.
Yeah, probably went across it too much.
But I think for driver of the day, I would probably say it's got to be between the GOAT and Joe. Definitely think they've been a class apart from the rest.
Yeah.
I mean, would you give it to GOAT because they've won the race, or would you go no because Joe has done a good job to get into P2?
Probably Joe.
Probably Joe.
Yeah. Just drove a great race.
Yep, but here they come now, around the final corner. They can see the checkered flag. They know they've won the race. Here comes the weaving, and the GOAT wins the race. Joe will take a very good P2. SF Rock takes the final podium position. LT Rocket takes P4. Frisky, despite spinning on the previous lap, is going to hold on from Harry to take P5.
Then we're waiting for Harry Plummer. And it just ends there.
Indeed. Wow, that was a mental race. That was the survival of the fittest there. Incredible stuff. I can't believe we've only had 6 finishes in the end.
Yeah, a lot of spins.
Indeed. But fair play to the GOAT. They take the first pre-season race of season 4. Joe obviously took P2, started P1, got done by the GOAT at turn 1, and then I think just took a little bit too long to get past the climb because of the VSCs, and that halted their progress, I think, unfortunately. But that is it from me and MN Shocker. It was a pleasure to have you commentating with us. And it was a pleasure to have you all watch along with us. We will be back next weekend for the second pre-season race of SRL Season 4. But until then, have a good week, take care, and we will see you all later on. Ta-ra.